It has attracted crowds of up to 92,000 and audiences of millions across Twitch, TikTok and YouTube. It's also the creation of Barcelona legend Gerard Pique and can count Adidas, McDonald's and Spotify among its sponsors. But what actually is the Kings League? Beginning play in January 2023, the Kings League is a 7-a-side tournament. Its 40-minute matches are split into 20-minute halves, and instead of a traditional kickoff, at the beginning of games, the two teams sprint from opposing ends of the pitch to gain possession. Before games, teams are also able to pick golden cards, giving them, for instance, a free penalty, the opportunity to remove an opposition player from the game, or even a goal that counts double. There are unlimited substitutions, no draws, and penalty shootouts using the ice hockey format, with players running from the halfway line before shooting for goal. Sergio Herrero has played in it, so has Ronaldinho, and Javier Hernandez, and there's even been a mysterious player wearing a mask. The Kings League was born in July 22, when Pique and Oriol Carroll, now the league's managing director, were walking from the offices of Cosmos, Pique's company, in Barcelona to have lunch with Ibai Llanos, a Spanish internet celebrity. We were discussing the problems of traditional football, Carroll told The Athletic. 90 minutes has become a long time, and sometimes a match can end 0-0. We knew content creators. We also wanted to make more things happen, to take football and turn it into a real-life video game. The result was a league of 12 teams, each controlled by a president. Agüero himself is one, Real Madrid legend Iker Casillas is another, and the rest are famous streamers and internet personalities like Ibai, who were tasked with hiring coaches and putting together a squad of players. Building the 12 squads began with an application procedure on the Kings League website. 11,000 applicants submitted CVs and skills videos, and 180 were selected to go into a draft. Almost all are semi-pro players from Catalan regional leagues, but a key part of bringing attention to the Kings League product was to also involve big names. So each president received a budget to attract 2 active pros or recently retired players as additional squad members. One was signed to play with the team all through the season. These have included Pique's 2010 World Cup winning teammate Joan Capdevila, former Athletic Bilbao winger Ibai Gomez, and ex-Sevilla defender Nico Pareja. The final player joined for just one game. Initially, there was some disappointment when the much-hyped player in a mask, rumoured to be Isco, turned out to be former Las Palmas reserve Nano Mesa. But proper superstars have since lent their skills and fame to Kings League teams. Ronaldinho, Javier Saviola, Javier Chicharito Hernandez, and Andrea Pirlo have all played. It's an unusual spectacle, but then, as Pique believes, it has to be. Competitions need to adapt to what the audience wants, he says. When building the competition, Cosmos found an abandoned sports complex close to Barcelona's port to refurbish. All the generated content would be free to access for anyone online. Cameras were put on referees and in dressing rooms, and everyone was mic'd up. Streamers were also given the rights to broadcast the games. The first round of Kings League games in January 2023 had almost 800,000 people watching across YouTube and Twitch, whether on the Kings League's own channels or the channels of the streamer presidents. The product is high drama. The more controversies and bust-ups, the better, with lots of arguments about VAR and refereeing decisions. There is a sense of professional wrestling to it, with Pique as the Catalan Vince McMahon. That element has brought disdain. Back in January 23, La Liga president Javier Tebas called the Kings League a circus and doubted whether it would last 6 months. We use Tebas' criticism to promote ourselves. We like to be a circus, Pique says. Agüero dressed up as a clown. We try to be creative. There are 2 seasons each year, and the first ended with finals at the Camp Nou in March. That was followed by a break and a transfer window full of rumours, come and get me please, and presidents publicly trying to steal stars from their competitors' teams. The second split ran from early May until mid-July. Former AC Milan legend Andriy Shevchenko played a game for one of the teams, donating the money raised to Ukrainian refugee children. Ex-Liverpool striker Djibril Cissé represented Los Troncos FC, getting visibly angry and remonstrating at his coach when he was substituted without scoring. An addition in the second half of the season was the Queen's League, with the same regulations and setup. The Queen's League has an extra advantage in attracting players, given how poorly resourced traditional women's football is in Spain. We've had 300,000 people online watching a women's game, Carroll says. This means a level of exposure and pay that rivals professional football. The men's tournament, the Kings League, was not initially lucrative. Drafted Kings League players were initially paid just €74 per game. That quickly started to look very little as the competition's massive viewer numbers attracted big brand sponsors including InfoJobs, Oisho, Cupra, McDonald's, Spotify, Adidas, Mahou, Xiaomi, Gatorade, Visa and Nescafe. Encouragingly, growth for the second year will include player salaries in Kings and Queens of €2,500 to €7,500, but players will also have to sign exclusive contracts. Further developments have been announced. The Kings League Americas will start in January 2024 with a base in Mexico City and with teams all through Latin America. Leagues in France and Italy are planned for 2024 and England and Germany for 2025. And the second split final, which was staged at Atletico Madrid's Wanda Metropolitano in front of 60,000 fans, showed just how stark the contrast is with traditional football. There were lots of families and younger people in the stands, and plenty wearing replica jerseys of their favourite Kings and Queens League team. Fans enjoyed pre-game entertainment and watched influencers take penalties against Iker Casillas. During games, pyrotechnics and fireworks marked goals, and spotlights danced around the pitch. Team presidents were also subbed on to take penalties, while high in the air, French tightrope walker Nathan Paulin entertained those watching below. No, traditional football it certainly is not.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.